Kia ora everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel of hiking and photography adventures in Aotearoa. Because you know, Aotearoa, the shirt, it's... anyway. I'm so excited about today's video. So, one of the coolest things about little landscapes is the degree of control you have over every element of the photograph. When you're out in nature taking photos of landscapes, you can't just move a mountain because you want it in a different position. The sun's in the wrong place. Nothing you can do about that. Often you're pretty limited about where you can direct your subject to be for your photograph as well. But with a little landscape, all the scale's different. You're like this giant god. You control everything. You can put your subject exactly where you want. You want to move a mountain? You just pick it up and move it. It's just a little pile of dirt. Trees, pull them up, stick them somewhere else. You can even control the weather. Now, I know what you're thinking. I'm totally crazy, but truly, you can... hang on, give me a sec. Oh, this must sound good for you. I know what you're thinking, it's not raining. Or is it? Okay, let's back up a second. This is getting out of hand. Let's catch up with Mia, find out what she's up to. There's Mia. So, Mia's been out rescuing her sheep because we've had a bit of heavy rain locally, and she's just crossing this river here. Incidentally, Mia's showing very good river crossing technique. She's maintaining 3 points of contact at all time. Well done, Mia. Now this would make a cool enough photograph. We could snap this, be quite happy, head on inside, make a coffee and upload to Insta. But we're not quite done yet. In this little landscape world, we're gods. We have control over light and weather, things that we can't control so much when we're out in the real world. So you want to take advantage of that. It's time to turn on the sun and a little bit of rain. So a few days ago I got the idea for a photograph that would be an image of Mia crossing a river carrying her sheep, rescuing it from a flooded river. And I've been waiting for some rain to create some puddles so that I could create that shot. And it took me a while to realize that I don't need to wait for rain. Given the scale, if I want a river, I can just build my own river. So that's what I've done here. So I've dug a river through the gravel here, and I've just got your standard variety garden hose, nothing flash, and that's gonna put some water through, down the river and make my little river. And that's a cool enough photograph, just like that. And here's an example of one of the shots I took. Looks pretty cool, it's a cute little photo. But one of the advantages with the little landscape photography is that you can introduce elements and control and manipulate elements that you just couldn't in the real world. So why just crossing a river with a sheep when it could be a flooded river and it could be during the middle of a storm? Now, you just couldn't do that in real life. You can't just go out and put a hiker into a flooded, stormy river and take photographs. Aside from the risk to your gear of the elements, obviously it's just far too dangerous, and you really shouldn't ever cross a flooded river at all. So kids, don't try this at home. Mia is a trained professional, all right? Anyway, so I've got these watering cans here full of water, and I'm going to pour them over, and that simply will be my rain. But the final element I need is some lighting. So I've got this light here. It's nothing flash, it's just a sort of garden variety work light and sitting on an old tripod. I don't have any photography lights at all other than on-camera flash. I do mostly landscape photography out in fairly inaccessible areas that can often be a couple of days of hiking to get to. So I'm not going to be lugging lights with me, and there'd be no point anyway because you can't light up a mountain. So I'm just making do with what I've got. But this basically is my sun, and I'm going to backlight the rain, and the purpose behind that is just quite simply so that you can see it. So the trick is to backlight it. If you put light behind the subject and behind the rain through to the camera, it'll read. So that's what I've got here. So this will put light down through here, rain will fall on top, and we'll get a cool image. So we'll just set all that up and we'll see what we come up with. Cool, right? I had so much fun taking those photographs and shooting that B-roll for you. Alright, I better go clean up, but before I do, I just want to quickly take a look at a couple of my photographs that I've really liked out of this. So a couple of general notes to begin with. I didn't use focus stacking on those photographs. I did shoot with multiple points of focus, but once I got them into Photoshop, because of all the rain and everything that's happening in the image, it just didn't focus stack at all. It looked kind of awful. So I found that if I just used that narrow depth of field, so that only Mia and her sheep and just the rain around her was in focus, I just got a much better shot. Okay, so this is the first image. This is actually on my 10 to 25 mil Leica. Shot this wide open at f1.8, ISO 200, so I could get that shutter speed up real high. This was at 1/1000th of a second. And that high speed really captures the individual raindrops and all the splashes of water really nicely. And the second image was shot on my 35 to 100 2.8. Shot this at f4 at 62 mils, and I bumped this up to ISO 400 so that I could get 1/320th of a second. Not quite as fast on the shutter, but still pretty quick. You get those nice frozen time details that are so cool. So I went for quite a grungy, textured, dark, high contrast sort of look with these photographs, and I reckon it looks pretty badass. It's a style I really like and I use in a lot of my photography, and I feel like it's really moody and it helps tell the story of Mia out rescuing a sheep. There's a thunderstorm, the heavy rain's coming down, rivers flooded, just really tells that story. I reckon it looks cool. Let me know what you think in the comments. So I hope I've inspired you to grab your garden hose or a lamp and head out into your backyard and start having a play with some of those elements that can really add some drama and excitement to your photographs. And then once you're out in the real world, remember those elements and remember what you learned from this exercise, because the same rules apply. If you're shooting in rain and you want to capture the rain, you're going to need that rain to be backlit or you're not going to be able to see it. Think about where the sun is in relation to your subject so that you get the right kind of lighting. You'll have to move yourself around because obviously you can't just move the sun and move mountains in the real world, but the rules are still the same, and this is a cool way, I think, of learning those lessons. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you stay safe and well, and I hope we're all back out in the world again very soon. In the meantime, I'm going to go clean up because I've created quite the mess, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.